See if you can get the meter matched up there. Close enough for this pass. Obviously, if your prograde, the greenish-yellow marker, is lined up with the pink marker aiming at your target, that means you are heading straight for your target. So, again, it's kind of intuitive, but also kind of not, because obviously it's not obvious, but once you know these things, then it becomes, you know, a lot more, it kind of clicks. And it's sort of all, it's easier to do than to explain, I'd say. Scrolling around. So the downside with creating massive rockets is that they take forever to maneuver. So again, what we're going to do is get as close as we can, and then point retrograde and burn. Apparently our closest separation is 2.1 kilometers this time. So we get 4 kilometers closer, and again stop, then get a little bit closer, stop, a little bit closer, stop. If you imagine it, it's basically like throwing my ship at it and missing by a couple of kilometers, stopping it and throwing it again, missing by less. And every time I sort of throw my ship at it, I miss by less and less, until I'm within the hundreds of meters range where using RCS is viable. Now what I'd like to do is dock with this backstage still attached, so that I could do some refueling while I'm there. If it's not possible, it's fine. There is enough fuel in there for what we plan on doing. But obviously it would be nice. Would save us another trip up with a refueling ship. So, separation 2.1, 3.7, let's speed it up a little bit. Do we get a bit closer? Was it 2.1? I think it was. Yeah, it was. So, boost. Ooh, a little bit too far. Oh well. Rolling around. Almost used... I had used just over 200 RCS so far. For some reason it's taking some of it from the front tank. I'm going to have to rectify that. Anyway. I should also think about getting rid of these shrouds at some point. I keep forgetting to. I usually try to do it while I'm thrusting so that they get out the way. I think I'll do it while thrusting here because they don't need a lot of force. Stoppity, stoppity, stop. Okay, so quick thrust and explosions. Don't worry, always happens. I'm not entirely sure why. I don't believe anything is damaged. We've still got RCS. Okay, yep, RCS, RCS. All the thrusters are intact. Everything's intact up here. The engine's okay. Yep, cool, right. They don't have to deal with this in the ISS, that's for sure. Quite highly explosive for something that's literally made out of just metal and wood. Or well, looks like it is. Anyway, thrusting. Obviously I don't want to go too fast. Because I need to have time to turn my massive arse around and thrust back the other way before we get too close. Where's the closest this time? 0.8 kilometers, 800 meters. Not entirely sure if that's quite the kind of range I'd want to start using RCS at with this behemoth. Speaking of. Done. I wonder if I... No, it's not going to work. Not at this kind of range. Anyway, speeding up a little bit. Giving myself a nice sort of margin for error there. 0.9 meters per second. Still getting closer. Interestingly. I wonder if it is viable to start using RCS. We'll soon find out. What I'll do is I'll try to use RCS to point the direction we're going at it. And then, if that works, then we should be okay. Even if I'm only going at 1 meters per second, that's what time acceleration's for. So, stop there, if you please. Right, let's thrust till they line up. You can also use the translation of the RCS. Think of it as, you know, when you press left and right, you literally move your momentum left and right. Up and down is reversed, but you know, hey, when you press down, it pushes the direction traveling up. So we're now heading at just under 1 meter per second, straight for it. So what I want to do is point the ship at it, so that when we get close enough, we can stop. Getting there, getting there, getting there, and SAS. Thrust, thrust, thrust. Okay, so I'll speed up again. Adjust my heading. Of course, my ship isn't exactly the most perfectly balanced, so things like this still happen. Thrust, 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 thrust. You know, I think keeping this back section is a bit more bother than it's worth. There we go. So the question is, ditch it or keep it? It hasn't exactly got a lot of fuel left in it. It's got 1 tank's worth. No, it's the RCS is the only thing I'm really... Oh, fuck. That was stupid. That's what you get for pressing the wrong buttons. That was perhaps a good thing that we're not aiming directly for it. Just using RCS to thrust directly backwards. Yeah, I think what I'll do is just take all the fuel off of it and then dock with just the engine rather than try to use it as a refueling station. Yep, that's the plan. Go! Get the chase cam on. Turn on our lights. Make docking a little bit easier. This, as you might imagine, is a lot better balanced. Kinda. To an extent. Just easier to maneuver in general. It's smaller, it's more nimble. So, we want to head straight to the back. Oh yes, that's a good point. I did do some changes to the ship, which I'm going to show you guys once we get there. I believe that is the empty docking clamp. It is. I don't know if it's just because I'm so close to the target or what, but my velocity gauge, or the velocity heading indicator, always kind of flips the fuck out when I'm this close. Or it's just when I'm at this low speed. It isn't sure which way I'm going. Which isn't helpful. But anyway. What I'll do is I'll thrust this way, because what I did was actually I pointed it at a stationary point of reference, that is to say north. So what I should be able to do is just get myself behind it, line up, facing north, and then slide into place. So then, swing around, face north, hold steady, and then start translating. As you can see, pointing everything in one direction is very useful because it means I can be sure that my ship is facing the same direction as the target, so everything gets nice and lined up. Welp, I'm an idiot. That's what I get for not paying attention. Again. Man, I'm so good at Kerbal Space Program. Oh, no, no, no. Try not to destroy the other engines, please. This would be terribly inconvenient. Now, if I thrust forwards here... Let's try from here. It's down a bit, forward a bit, down a bit, forward a bit. Backward a bit, up a bit. Nope, no, no, other up. This up. What have I done? Where am I? Too far that way. Righto. Remember when I said it was easy to dock? Yeah. I remember that. At least I can see. That's something I'd recommend for anyone. Put lights on your docking clamp. Or near it. Facing forward. So then you can see your target. Because it gets surprisingly dark up here in space. You wouldn't think so. Is that it? We on? Is that a miss? Yeah, that's a miss. Bear with me, folks. Okay, lined up. allegedly. More or less. Can we do it this time? Oh, in! And there we go. Well, thank fuck for that. So, here we are. The starship Vinceria with all 4 of its engine nacelles attached. Let's turn those lights off. Or possibly turn them on, actually. Fuck it, might as well. Have the back nice and illuminated. I'll show you my mad scheme. As you can see, I've previously done the same mission essentially 3 times, getting these engines up here. The engines themselves are literally just a fuel tank and an engine, with an RCS tank that was purely so that they could maneuver into place. So, engine nacelles at the back of the vessel. 4 of them attached to basically some SAS modules with the cores, with docking ports at the front and back. Perhaps not the best way to do it, but it made it easiest to get docked. In the centre here, I've actually modified it a bit. These 4 side bits are now on struts, well, sort of hard points. I've put on the ram air intake and engine bodies purely for looks, basically to make it look kind of cool. And I've also expanded the size of these front docking ports. In fact, hold on, let me turn off SAS and try turning more towards the sun, so you can see what the fuck I'm talking about, as it is obviously a bit hard to see. But yeah, so this is it so far. The engines are all in place. I would have liked to be able to like put struts on these while out in orbit, but obviously that's not exactly possible. So, oh well. Hopefully they are actually stable enough to propel us in a straight line. Then all I've got to worry about is making sure that the loads I put on these 4 struts are roughly equal, so that we don't end up thrusting in a big circle. So yes, here we go. Bit better view. Back of the ship, engine nacelles, with a strut linking it to this other port here, which is where all the actual mission vehicles will go, on these 4 here. Another strut with some of these Gigantor solar arrays, which I'm not entirely sure why they aren't extended. And then at the front is just a Mark 1 cockpit with Bob Kerbin currently sitting in it, chilling like a boss. So there we go. There is the Vinceria so far. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.